Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today as I walk through this very spacious park. We're going to discuss some really weird economic indicators that tell us if there's a recession or not. And there's over 30 of them. It's fantastic. So before I get into it, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Belly Trim, and I'll talk about them a little bit later. But first things first, all these weird economic indicators have been proven over time to basically, be true. So it's kind of interesting. The first one is the butter popcorn index. And what this works out to is that during bad economic times, and you can relate this to 2009, you had a lot of people that would just go to the movies just for the sake of getting away from their problems. They would go see a movie. So, people call this the Jason Bourne index and things like that because you had, regardless of how bad a movie was, you would go see the movie. Well, I don't think people are going to the movies like they used to. So I guess you'd have to call it the Netflix index now. So the next one is the unclaimed bodies index. Because of how expensive it is to bury someone during bad economic times, people don't claim, Aunt Helen's body. Is that horrible? I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. And they have all these stats and all these figures that go back to that. So Drudge Report, they're saying that the more financial information that's put on the Drudge Report, on the headlines, the higher the indication is that we are in an economic downturn. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Um, Car sales, I love this one. If we are in a bad time, car salesmen are more likely to discount cars. Well, I think that's absolutely true. But the problem that you have when you compare this one is cars have never been more expensive right now than they are today. You are seeing the average car payment over $1,000 a month. You're seeing, used car payments for $670 a month. What are you guys doing? Why do you have to have a car that bad? Whatever happened to the $3,500 clunker? Okay. Anyways, no one cares what you drive. Okay. Now I understand you got to tow a boat and you like to camp and you like to do things like that. But I have a friend of mine who was, talking about his son's, 2022 truck, last year's model, for $80,000. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money. So when car salesmen start to discount, that's when things are bad. And Summer Olympics, okay? I love this one. Things are generally bad during the Summer Olympics, and people go and watch the Olympics more during summer times, during bad economic times, to escape how bad their financial problems are. It's kind of interesting when you think about that. We got the Winter Games coming up, I believe, and it'll be interesting to see, what's happening with that. So, share your thoughts on this. The diaper rash index. I like this one. Parents are more neglectful during down economic turns than they are during up cycles. So you see more kids with heavy diaper rash during this time. Read this article below because it's kind of fascinating. So this one, plastic surgery index, especially with females, is generally down during rough economic times, or they will seek alternatives to other venues that are less expensive, dramatically less expensive. And what you see is places like Mexico have upticks in plastic surgery. I gotta get them done. I gotta get them bigger. Okay, I'm going to Mexico. Okay, craziness. Okay, so women cut back during this time, and I know men have plastic surgery too. Just save the keystrokes. Okay, it's worthless. Okay, now this was proven during 2008, 2009, during the last big economic downturn, how bad things went south. Get it? Went south? Anyways, this one I love. The Sports Illustrated cover index. If you have an American on the cover, we generally have the swimsuit edition. If you have an American on the cover, we generally have a better economic time. And the last time that we had a Russian on the cover, the economy tanked and we had the dot-com bubble. So again, okay, is this real? Who cares, okay, about that one? And then my favorite is the high heel index. Women wear more high heels and get more crazy with their shoes during bad economic times. Okay, so there's that. The other one that people relate to is what they call the lipstick index. And the lipstick index is good because women generally will not go and spend a ton of money on makeup and things like that during bad economic times. So what do they want to do? They don't want to hit Sephora and spend $300. They'll buy lipstick. And lipstick sales go up during bad economic times. A lot of these trends that they research go back to the year 1900. So for over 100 years, you've seen things like this that have taken place. It's crazy. Let's talk about our sponsor, Belly Trim XP. Think about this stat. It's estimated that almost 70 million people are considered overweight in our country. And there's something you can do about it. There is a capsule you can take called Belly Trim XP that is all natural. It doesn't speed you up. It's got conjugated linoleic acid, which has been proven to help with the reduction of belly fat. And let's face it, not everybody wants to go to the gym. Not everybody wants to go work out, change their diet dramatically. They want a help with that. And the best thing you can do is take Belly Trim XP. Look at trimwithdan.com. The good people at BioTrust set up a website for you where you can go and you can purchase Belly Trim and save over 50% off. Check it out today, but it's all natural. And it is, so many of you have ordered this. It's fantastic. But when you think of all the different health issues that come from being overweight, it's time to do something about it. With our age, you've got to get an edge. So check out trimwithdan.com today. Once again, comes from BioTrust, who has shipped over 15 million products, guys. Check it out today. Again, I love these because they base them on previous years and previous decades, the mosquito bite index. Now, what this one relates to is when you have a tremendous amount of vacant homes, you get more, pools that have stagnant water that people are neglecting, and you get more mosquitoes. So the mosquito bite index is an indication that the real estate market is tanking and the economy is bad during that time. Now, we're having a downtime right now. Let's face it, we are. But you're not seeing the vacancies and the foreclosures yet that you're about to see, that are about to skyrocket. So my favorite, the baked bean index. Baked beans in 2009, sales went up 23%, and all canned goods. People spend less money on food and they stock up and buy canned foods. Well, it just goes to less expensive foods all the way around. So again, do you believe this stuff, guys? Do you think this is an indicator? I think these are great though. The recession indicator and people using the R word. If we had $1 for every time somebody mentioned recession, online, that's the true indicator that we're coming into recession or coming out of recession. All we talk about is recession, guys. It's all you see in the news is it's going to be a soft landing. We're going to have this, we're going to have that. So what indicator is that? Okay. And then I like this one. If you have skinny ties, it shows that we're going to an economic downturn. If things are bright ties, we're coming out of it. Also, men will buy more ties during bad economic times to make themselves feel better about getting employment and acting like they have real jobs when they sit in their house. Okay? Okay. Oh, the Japanese haircut. I love this one. More people in Japan will take care of themselves during good economic times, and during bad economic times, they don't. They're more concerned about eating and getting through. So you don't see many Japanese men getting haircuts, and women will not go to the beauty parlors as much in Japan when the Nikkei index falls. Okay? I love this one. Bike fatalities. When the economy is bad, bike fatalities go up. Why is that, people? Because you can't afford a car. That's why. Okay? So these people that can't afford cars, go down when things are bad. Now, the other thing is in the UK, bike fatalities during the last economic downturn went up 12%. In the Great Depression, they went up 58% because, well, people didn't have cars back then. People rode their bikes back then. So, oh, marine advertising. I love this one. During tough economic markets, if they have an overabundance of recruits, they change the marine advertising to be much more difficult for Marine men to say, hey, this is not a job for any sissy lalas, okay? You need to be a tough guy to be a Marine, which I think is funny, but I think right now the recruitment's down so much that I think they'd take a lot of people right now. So, first date indicators. The indicator of the economy is bad is that more women will go out on first dates to get a meal. Is that where are we going? I'd like steak. Yeah, fish sounds good. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Can we meet there and can I get a to-go bag? Okay. One of my greatest stories ever was I had a lawyer friend of mine who was on a first date, and this is back when we had pagers. He got paged, went and answered a telephone call, comes back, and the woman had a to-go container on the table. And he said, oh, you didn't like your food? She says, no, I ordered a salad for lunch tomorrow. So he got to pay for that. So isn't that nice? And also with the dating thing, Match.com says that there's a lot more indicators when the economy goes up that people want to hook up when things are bad. Coupon index just doesn't make much sense because it's relatively simple. People bargain shop more during economic downturns, which doesn't surprise me at all. And they do it when things are good. They don't worry about things like that. So, you know, in 2009, you had, you know, all these different indicators with people spending less and things like that. There's an index called the Happy Meal Index. The Happy Meal Index is McDonald's and different shopping places that have discounts. And the toy size and the toy value of the Happy Meal drops during bad economic times. Red Robin, the restaurant, cut their crayons in half during the last economic downturn just to show people how things, you know, how bad they were and to cut back. Now, these are just fun, and I'm not making these up. There's a great article below talking about all of these. And have you heard of anything else that I'm missing here right now? Because the next one is the skyscraper index. When you have massive buildings, it usually precedes a major recession. And then when we come out of a recession to rebuild, they start building again. Man, oh man, are we seeing that right now here in Southern California. They are ripping buildings down off the 55 freeway, and they're building these industrial and manufacturing facilities that we've never had in Orange County before, that you normally have in Riverside County and different places. So it's very interesting. The next one, next indicator is contractor response time. If you have a down economy, the contractors will respond very quickly to you. Oh, hey, you know, yeah, I can come out and give you a bid. Okay. When things are bad, you know, you see this increase. You see the availability of these people increase. When it's good, good luck getting them on the phone. Now, the next one is the skirt index. And this goes back to the 1920s. There's a bunch of research on this, which is kind of fascinating. The shorter the skirts, the better the economy. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, so if you see a lot of thigh, okay, it's because times are good, guys. That's it. Thighs mean times are good. And I'm not talking about Wingstop, where they changed the name to Thigh Stop for a while. So, okay, this one's really easy. Cardboard box indicator. If you have less cardboard boxes purchased, you've got, you know, an economic downturn. Well, that makes sense because manufacturing would be down, and that would be really simple. And that goes back to, again, the 1900s. And you have areas like in the UK where you had the largest box company that during the last economic downturn, their sales dropped $266 million. Okay, the alligator index. I love this one. alligator farming almost went out of business in 2008 and 2009. They're like, okay, who owns an alligator farm? Well, high-end bags, high-end shoes are made with alligators. And when you go back through history to the 1900s, if alligator is purchased, it's because things are good and people have money to waste on expensive bags and shoes and things like that. Isn't that wild to think about that? Okay. So, oh yeah, I love this one. The men's underwear index. Well, men are lazy, first of all, okay? And men that are single have a tendency to buy less underwear when the economy is bad. Oh, those look fine. Okay, a couple holes in them. Who's going to see them? You know what I mean? So when the economy is bad, men buy less underwear. So that's the underwear index. Oh, this one. I love this one. Curse of the new headquarters. There is a guy who's spoken at my events named Scott Hamilton, who runs a brilliant executive recruiting, executive networking group. And this guy says, if you see a company go out and they are going to get a new headquarters, you short the company because the company is going to go out of business. And so many times, hey, it's time to get a new headquarters, and the company does not do well for, you know, an extended period of time. Now they may survive, but then they may be Nokia when it all said, you know, is said and done. So share your thoughts on that one. Next one is the garbage indicator. When times are good, we have more trash. When they're bad, we spend less money and buy less things. So there's less garbage during that time. Let me know, guys. Do you guys agree with these things? Are there any ones I haven't covered yet that you go, oh, check out this one? Okay. Okay. Chinese calendar. The year of the dragon and the year of the rabbit are the two best years to invest, they say, over any other time on the calendar. And other times are not nearly as good. Is this true? Let me know, guys. Tylenol, aspirin, indicator. This one is people buy more things for headaches when times are bad. Do you guys agree with that? Share your thoughts on that one, because I think that's pretty fascinating if that's the case on that. So. Now, this isn't science. This is just trends that you see. And I always love things like this because it's fascinating. I'm going to finish it with these last few. The beer index. Think about this. People drink more at home during bad economic times than they do going out. Well, yeah, I can't afford food. I'll buy a six-pack and take it home. That's the mentality of that. So that's the beer index that talks about how bad things are. Google Trends and Google Searches. It's great. It's very easy to do this one. You can go and you can see exactly what the hottest search trends on Google. If you want to look at economic trends, you can look at things like this. Now, my brother just called me last night and said, have you seen what one of the hottest trends is? How do I turn my car back in? I'm like, really? Okay. Yeah, how do I get out of my lease? Okay, bad sign, guys. Really bad sign. The hot waitress index. Women that are super attractive physically go out and get jobs at like Hooters and places like that where they're scantily clad, you know, the tilted kilt and ridiculous places like that, when the economy is bad. When the economy is better, they can get better jobs, so they don't do that. Okay? So, kind of thought that was kind of funny. The final one is there is a trend and there is mathematical equation that's done for the Big Mac purchases, not the price of Big Macs because they're through the roof right now, but the Big Mac purchases compared to GDP, because people will buy less expensive items right now. Now, understand this, guys. Fast food prices have gone through the roof, and the average family can't even afford to eat out anymore. Again, I could do certain things every day. I could just show you receipts of people's fast food nightmares right now and sandwich nightmares. And when one person goes and gets a sandwich, chips, and this, and it's $20, is insanity. Okay, but since the dawn of man with this Big Mac indicator, it shows that things are bad right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Something fun for the holiday. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And again, what am I missing? What's not in there that you guys have seen and heard that wasn't on this list, because it's a great list. Onward and upward. You want to email me, hello@iAllegedly. I will see you guys very soon.